Hey guys, it's CL, and welcome to a brand new Critical Role recap. Please go ahead and subscribe and hit the Bertrand bell to be notified of future videos. I recap the latest episodes of Critical Role every Saturday at noon and would be happy to have you join the family. Now, without further ado, let's discuss the 14th episode of Campaign 3 of Critical Role. This was a long episode, you guys, but it was so freaking good. I'm glad we really got our gold's worth on these outfits for this ball because it lasted nearly 2 episodes. We begin this episode with the fight between Ashton and Ratatouille, as he will so lovingly be called now. Besides being a mouse with amazing Michelin star capabilities in the kitchen, what kind of barbarian do we think he is? So is he maybe part fire genasi? Or is it just the route he took when he was building the barbarian? I just think it's cool that despite the disrespect that was going on between him and Ashton before the fight began, it ended in somewhat of a good place, even though Ashton almost perma'd after rolling a nat 1 on his death save. Ratatouille invited Ashton back to his table for a drink and discussed them potentially working for the Paragon's call. It could be really good to have someone on the inside, and clearly Chetney and Travis were very excited by that idea. Ashton also made a comment that he doesn't actually know what he bleeds. Is it like actual blood? Or maybe it's like oil, like FCG potentially has? Maybe he's a warforged or a robotic too. My vote is hot fudge, so that if we ever get a vampire to help fulfill Chetney's Twilight fantasy, at least feeding time would taste good. It could maybe even help Ratatouille with his recipes in the kitchen. It's weird how everything is all interlocked. I just can't figure out how yet. Treshy and Ratatouille are in league with Emoth and Duggar and the Nightmare King. What's the actual thread that ties it all together, though? Is it what Gianna Hexam accused Dorian's hot but dum-dum of a brother of stealing? Is it connected to the red storm that Imogen has visions of? We know that's definitely tied to the Lumos twins. I just want to know more about these goddamn crystal fauna and how maybe they're tethered to Ashton and his storyline. Who are the Green Seekers, and what do they have to do with the whole Cyrus thing? Do you think that they're one of the other groups that Gianna Hexam had listed on the job she offered Ashton? Were they just security and noticed him where he shouldn't be? Maybe they were even tipped off by Lady Emoth and that was how they knew the rooms were being tossed. Maybe she just threw him under the rug so she'd have the attention off of her. Also, do we think this detective agency, the Green Seekers and Green Robes, are tied to maybe Jester and Veth's detective organization? I feel like that could be a really fun Easter egg for Matt to include since they're wearing green and, the whole traveler thing. The fight with Emoth was so frustrating. We were so close, and we learned that she has some sort of boss who could potentially help her. Is it a patron, or is it like the Queen of Shade Creepers or some shit? It's interesting that she was tossing Grizz's room. What is he researching specifically that's so important to her that she needed to risk tossing the place? This is a high-profile event. I guess it's the time to do it. That's when he'd be in town, but is it worth the risk of maybe potentially harming her relationships with other quorum members? I'm just trying to find the connection, guys. We did manage to finally get a group name, though. The Bells Hells have finally announced themselves onto the Drussar organization scene. I love that the name was tied to Bertrand Bell, and it's nice that we finally have something to call the party. After the Bells Hells are unable to catch up with Lady Emoth, they find the Green Seekers arresting and escorting Cyrus outside. Through some clutch smoke bombs and dice rolls, Daddy Esteros and Dorian manage to free Cyrus, and the group head back to Esteros' manor, their faces memorized by the guard for furthering the investigations of what happened that night. The episode ends sort of where I had predicted it. Though I did think that Cyrus was going to die in this episode, we're still saying goodbye to the lovely Robbie Daymond. I loved Dorian as a character, and I'm happy to see that some of the group were emotional at his departure too. I think we all knew he wouldn't be a fixture through the campaign, but it's cool that they've announced that there'll be some sort of 2-part EXU special that we'll see him again. If you'd like to see me review or recap that, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know your running theories for who the Quorum are and all of those things connecting them to the Nightmare King and Emoth and the weird black sludge stuff. What do you guys think of the name The Bells Hells? I do admit I really liked Focus, Group. but I actually think the merch potential for their new name will be awesome. Imagine like a Taco Bell logo, but on fire. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us small creators out. If you're interested in my other side projects, I have a Let's Play channel called Team Hyperfang with my friend Logan. Right now we're playing a Pokemon Diamond Nuzlocke. We also have a pilot podcast where we review pilot episodes of TV shows every other Monday. Finally, I have an album called Scorpio out now. Thank you so much for watching. Stay warm out there. Good day, my friends.
We don't have to talk about